Om Shanti and welcome back to a very special episode on Light of Knowledge with Bhavna Didiji. Didi is the director of Brahma Kumaris in New Zealand, Fiji and the Pacific Islands for the past 38 years. And she has been with Brahma Kumaris for the past 48 years. Didi is a national and international speaker and has attended and taken a lot of conferences, workshops, and seminars all over the world. Today we are going to talk to Didi about stress management. We can talk to her about her experiences as well. So without further ado, let us all welcome Didi ji. Om Shanti and welcome to Godlywood Studio and Light of Knowledge.
Om Shanti.
Didi, it's very nice to have you here with us today, and it's our great pleasure that you could find the time in your busy schedule to come chat with us.
Thank you.
As I said, our topic is stress management, and stress is something which all of us are experiencing. I can even say 24/7. I mean, sometimes I feel like even in sleep, we are stressed out, So I thought this would be a great topic for you to discuss. We can start with stress at home. Let's talk about the homemaker, the housewife who gets so ignored because people are talking about stress for students, stress in the workplace, but we don't realize that even homemakers, housewives have stress. So, they have to deal with their children, they have to deal with their spouse. How can they bring peace or sanity in their life and not get so stressed out because they're being pulled in all directions?
Yeah, you are right, because especially housewife have maximum type of the stress nowadays. So I would like to give little advice to the housewife that while performing their duties, responsibilities, if they can make little break and if they practice of little meditation, which will help them, because what happen all the time, mind is working, mind need rest.
Right.
And if you don't give rest, you become irritated very easily.
True.
You become frustrated very easily.
True.
That's why now and then, if they can give little break and have little practice of meditation, then they can able to do their housework very, very nicely, because they forget the self at that time.
Right.
Because they all the time thinking about others.
Right.
But it's so nice to sometimes to think about the self, because when you think about the self, that is not being selfish. That is taking care of the self.
That's very true. Nicely said. Is there any particular kind of meditation practice that you would recommend?
The meditation which we practice here is called Rajyoga Meditation.
Okay.
So maybe beginning of the day, if you can just sit 5 minutes and feed those positive thoughts to yourself that I am a very peaceful soul, I am a happy soul, I am a powerful soul, because this is like a nutritious food which our mind also need. Like morning time body need nutritious breakfast, so the power will be last long whole day. Same way, if I start feeding my mind this nutritious food, then whole day my mind will remain positive and powerful, and I can face any little problem throughout the day comes in my life very easily without becoming upset.
That would be a very big asset to have, to do all your chores and not get upset. That would be a wonderful situation. You just talked about food, and another important aspect of a housewife or a mother is cooking. And how important is it to be without stress while cooking?
Yeah, because while cooking, to have that good awareness, elevated awareness, it's very, very important thing, because I'm putting good vibes in the food, and whoever will eat that food, they will receive those powerful vibes. They will think like that way. So it's very important thing. If I am meditating, then I can able to put those good vibes, good food thoughts while cooking the food also, and that helps family and also myself.
A lot of viewers out there may not realize this, that actually when you're cooking, your energy is actually going into the food as well.
That's
Not
right.
just the ingredients that you put in the food,
No.
but it's your energy as well. So it's
That's
very...
why in the family, when mother cooks some food, it's so tasty.
That's right.
And similar kind of food you eat outside, it's not
It's
that
not gonna taste
tasty
as well.
because the love, good feelings
Okay.
are also included in that food.
That's very true. And when the mother is dealing with the kids, the kids these days seem to be too stressed out. I mean, this was not the case when we were growing up. What should a student do in order to handle his or her own stress? Be it, because you know what, there's a lot of pressure these days on kids.
That's
In
right.
addition to their studies, they have to have extracurricular activities. They have to be in swimming, in dancing, in painting. So how does a student handle his or her
Yeah,
stress?
I remember just one of the country I was visiting and I met little boy, only 5 years old boy, and I asked him question, how are you? And this little boy said, sister, I am no good.
Oh my
I
God.
said, what happened?
Oh my
and
God.
then he said, oh sister, I'm having so much stress and headache.
Oh my
and I
God.
said, how come you experience stress and headache? And then he said, oh sister, in my school, I have to do so much homework. Because of, that homework, I'm feeling so much stressed
Oh my
and
God.
headache. And I became so surprised.
Yeah, 5-year-old.
I was thinking when I was that age group, I did not know the definition of stress or headache.
Very true.
And nowadays this word become like so common.
Yeah.
Each and every field, everybody is using this term. I'm having stress.
Wow.
I'm having tension.
Wow.
Yes, so when students have this kind of situation, when they come in that situation, we always recommend students also, we involve them more into the creative activities, because in our Brahma Kumaris Center, a lot of courses are offered to the children, students also.
Okay.
Yeah, so where they can able to bring the concentration power easily in their task. Because in study, you need to have concentration power. Because I remember when I started this meditation, I was a student.
That's right. You were very young.
And it really helped me a lot in my study, because students always have problem. They can't remember.
They can't focus. No
They can't
concentration.
yeah. So I can tell through my own experience that when you are practice little meditation, you need less time and still you remember many things, because in meditation we concentrate our mind on higher being, on God. So while doing study, you can easily focus your mind, concentrate quite easily, and you can remember lot of things.
Right. I was thinking like part of the reason could also be like kids very easily take on what their parents are talking about. So this 5-year-old, it's possible if he has heard his parents say we're stressed out, then he took on, that stress and the words. So this is an important lesson for the parents too.
That's
to be careful what they say when the kids are around.
That's right.
Right. I had read someplace that when the man of the house deals with a lot of stress, in a scenario where the wife is a homemaker and he's the breadwinner, they deal with a lot of stress at work and they have all this responsibility. And they take it out when they come home, they take it out on their kids or their wife. So I had read someplace that if they can deal with the stress before coming home with whatever ways they have, then maybe, it will be more effective in dealing with stress. So what would you recommend they do before they actually even step into the house?
Yeah, before they step into the house, first they need to become little relaxed, calm, and just go inside, and start, just thinking what nice things, they would like to share with their family. Because if positive things they will share, family will be happy. If negative things will emerge, then family will be sad, unhappy. So that part I need to pay little attention, before sharing any news. What am I doing? What kind of news I should share with them? That part, if they think before sharing, then it will help to them and family. Because otherwise nowadays we see everywhere, stress is there in every field. And nowadays we live in such a world where you cannot share good news to anyone or bad news to anyone. Other day I was just reading one newspaper, little story was written, and in that story they said that there was a very poor man, and one day he decided to go and buy lotto ticket, and he went and he bought the lotto ticket, and after buying ticket he thought that, oh, I don't have fortune to win this kind of ticket, this kind of lotto. So he passed on that lotto ticket to his family members, right? Now family members exactly knew when the result was going to announce, and the result announced, they looked in the newspaper, and such a huge amount of the money this person won. The amount was written 2,500,000 of rupees, something like that. So now all family member got together. Now all were thinking how to pass on this good news to this person. Because you can't tell just like that. Anything could happen. So they all having stress how to pass on good news, and one of the person in their family was a bit sensible. So he said, I think we should contact our family doctor and let him to pass on good news to him, And then this family doctor contacted this poor person. He went to his clinic, and then he asked him first question, imagine in your life, if you win 100,000 of rupees, what would you do? He won 25. But he started with 10. And then this poor person was thinking that, oh, I don't have fortune to win that much amount of the money. And doctor said, just visualize what would you do. And then this man said, okay, if I win that much amount of the money, I will buy my own house, because he was renting the house. And then they were started talking something else, and then again he asked another question. Imagine if you win 1,500,000 of rupees, what would you do? And then this guy said, okay, if I win that much amount of the money, then I'll have nice furniture in my house, I'll buy my own car. And then third time when doctor asked him, imagine if you win 2,500,000 of rupees, what would you do? And by the time he lost his temper, he really became very angry. Why doctor is keep asking me all these questions? And we all know when person becomes angry, you can't decide the right thing. So because of that anger, he said to doctor, okay doctor, if I win that much amount of the money, then half amount of the money I will give to you.
Oh my God.
And doctor was thinking, oh my God, he's going to give me 12,500,000 rupees. And doctor had heart attack. So what I mean, we all are living in such a world where sometimes you cannot share good news to anyone or bad news to anyone because of that stress. So that's why this little practice is there going within. Making the self little positive, powerful, then whatever will emerge from my mouth will be also positive and good for the people. Then children will learn good thing in family, because they always follow the parents. Whatever parents do, whatever they speak, exactly they do the copy of the parents. So that's a parent's priority, to create that kind of positive, powerful, happy, relaxed atmosphere in the family.
And I think not putting too much pressure on the kids will also help them not get so stressed out. Just letting them be what they want to be. Like, if we have like doctors and lawyers in the family, then they want their children to follow them in their footsteps. So that can also create a lot of pressure. Speaking of stress outside the family life, like, when you go to work, again, that can be a very stressful situation because the demands these days at work are a lot more. you are expected to do the work of 3 or 4 people.
That's right.
You know, normally where one person would be doing his or her own job, now it's like they let go the staff and one person is doing the job of 3, 4 people.
That's right.
So again, it's a very difficult, stressful situation. So how do we deal with that?
Yeah, when at workplaces that kind of load is there, you know, sometimes I need to become little practical and just see what capacity, how much capacity I have. You know, and we need to talk, and still sometimes you have to do certain things. Then I need to make myself bit stronger, bit powerful and bit flexible, because flexibility is a very powerful weapon against stress. So at work, if I am little flexible according to the people, according to the time, according to the situation, if I can mold myself, then I will have less stress. Whoever are around me, they have also less stress.
As you're talking about it, I'm visualizing a rope, you know, which is flexible and doesn't have much stress, whereas a stick, which is not flexible, has, this example made a lot of sense. That's very true. But even though, like, we try to tell ourselves, like, okay, I'm not going to take the stress, you know, there are times when a situation comes in front of you and then your heart is palpitating and you feel like, you know, your hands going like cold and numb. What do you tell yourself in this situation to keep the calm?
In that situation, I keep reminding myself that I am a very peaceful being. I am a relaxed soul, you know, because every minute in an hour, just little reminder will make you will help you and make you powerful also.
Okay, so take time out for 1 minute every hour.
Every hour. That one will help you a lot, because every time we set our alarm clock, there's that. And that's the same way, if I can make just this little habit in my life, you know. Because what happens if you are constantly working with computer, mind is constantly busy, you know, and mind cannot take much. Mind need rest. Yeah, so this is the good method is there every hour. Just go 1 minute silence and fill up that energy. Then you're ready to work for another hour. Okay,
very important tip. I'm sure this will help our viewers if they practice this. In your experience in the past 38 years, you know, you've lived overseas in New Zealand and Fiji and Pacific Islands. Can you relate some stories or examples where maybe people came to you like totally stressed out and, you know, with whatever problems they had, and then, you know, after talking to you, like, they went back relaxed?
Yeah, I remember one example. One day I was traveling somewhere. So somebody dropped me to the airport and flight was on time. And we were in the air around 20 minutes. And suddenly pilot announced that something is wrong in the engine of the aircraft. So you can imagine if something comes from pilot, everybody in the aeroplane, they all were, you know, panicking and stressed out and all sorts of drama I can see around me. And the lady who was sitting next to me, she was from Christian faith. Yeah, and she was telling me, oh sister, as soon as I heard something wrong in aircraft, my blood pressure went so high, you know. How do I control myself? Because I could see, you know, her hands were shaking and breathing very, very fast. So I just tried to explain her. I said, look sister, have faith in Jesus Christ. Yeah, and try to remember some nice things about your life, good experiences, because we are 30,000 feet high from the ground, so none of your family members or friends will come to rescue. Only one person can help, that is the God. And she has great faith on Jesus Christ. So I say, just build up that faith, everything will be fine, you know. And I could see in the plane, the people were panicking, and I made that determined thought with myself. I had little chat with God, with Baba.
Yeah.
I said, okay, Baba, if you want me there, I'm okay. If you want to send me down below, I'm still okay, But I am not going to create any negative thoughts in my mind, because during that kind of situation, what happened? Everyone are negative towards pilot.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I have that determined thought that I'm going to send good vibes to this pilot, because everyone's life was in his hands.
It's in his hands, right?
So if good vibes he receives, his intellect will work properly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I just sat in meditation, and then suddenly he announced that, okay, now I can't take this aircraft to my destination. I have to divert this one. Yeah. And the closest airport was 15 minutes away.
Okay.
Yeah. And those 15 minutes,
I can just imagine. I can just
not
imagine.
so long.
Definitely.
Yeah, because good time passes very easily.
Yes.
But this kind of time does not pass that easily.
Right.
So anyway, 15 minutes, and he already told down below that we have to make emergency landing.
Right.
And we could see from windows all these ambulances and fire brigades, and everything was down below. The lights were flashing.
Right.
Yeah, so people were like that. But I had deep down that faith that God is with me, Baba is with me, everything will be fine. This is only a test, and I have to pass this test. Yeah, so that kind of determined thought I had. And slowly he diverted aircraft, and he made nice landing. It wasn't smooth landing, but it was okay, And no one was that much injured or anything. Few people had little problems, so they went to hospital. I was perfectly fine.
Right.
Yeah, so sometimes this kind of situation, they do arise in front of us. Yeah, but our faith in God, that helps us a lot.
What a powerful story. I mean, seriously, because I almost want to say that it was your positivity and your faith in Baba that brought the airplane back down safely. Because it just takes one person, right?
Yeah.
It just takes one person to save the whole lot. One important message you gave us today is you were able to send positive energy in his direction, the pilot. And normally that's what people would do, is they would just flood him with the negative energy. But just having this one positive, powerful energy coming from you must have helped him keep his mind cool and, take the right decision.
It's ultimate God is doing, but he uses medium sometimes.
Right. So you were the instrument in... Didi, I had such a wonderful time listening to the stories, your experiences, and it was just great. But, we have time constraints, so we would like to conclude this episode. But we would love to have you back in our Godlywood studio again, so we can take this discussion further, and you can share your knowledge and your insight on some other topics as well.
Yes, I love to do sometimes.
That sounds really good. But thank you for coming, and Om Shanti.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
Didi gave us some wonderful tips today. She talked about doing a 1-minute meditation every hour to keep us from being stress-free. That meditation just involves being positive, telling ourselves that I'm a peaceful soul, I'm a positive soul. I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as I did with all the stories and experiences that Didi had for us. I would like to thank you all for watching us today, and we look forward to seeing you again in our next episode. Until then, take care and Om Shanti.